started the business because, listen, bro, I believe that there's one skill set that needs to be had when it comes to anything and getting traction in the marketplace, and that's this sales piece, right? And
Yeah.
sales is everything. And I had the opportunity to train alongside obviously Grant Cardone for 5 years as it relates to sales and really got that thing out in. And it comes to a point where it's okay. I got the main thing to close deals down, as
Yeah.
opposed to making somebody else money. Let's make myself money. And
Yeah.
so that's kind of how that's kind of how that went. And I was pretty confident in the fact that hey, I could at least close a couple of deals for myself, man. That wasn't necessarily a question anymore. Now, why the agency? You know, from the environment that I come from, I know that marketing is everything. Marketing is everything. Even the brand that you got on your shirt, that's Converse, that's marketing, right?
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
so I know that every single person needs it. And so, when you start something, it's like you got to find out where is a common problem and how can you solve it. And so the marketing piece was the common problem. Now we do anything and everything from retention marketing. We don't do acquisition. We do retention. So somebody buys a product for the first time. Okay, how do we get them to come back and buy a first, secondary time, or tertiary time? That's what we specialize in. And I think we've highlighted an area that goes overlooked in a number of businesses. We've been able to make a lot of businesses a crap ton of money doing so. So that's why starting a business, and then that's why choosing the
Yeah,
agency.
definitely, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what advice would you give to someone who's just like trying to start out their own agency, whether it's like client acquisition or like kind of retention marketing?
You know, the first things first is I would say you gotta learn how to sell, bro. Like everybody wants to start a deal, but nobody understands how to effectively communicate. They don't know how to close deals. They don't know how to overcome an objection. They don't know how to follow up. They don't know how to set an appointment. They don't know a 30-second elevator pitch. They don't understand. They don't connect with people in the why. They have no idea. They just have no idea. So the first thing I would do is understand how to effectively communicate. First thing I would do is understand how to effectively communicate. And then what I would do is take time out of the situation. Listen, here's the deal. Take a look at any business out there in the world today. The CEO is not doing every single job. They do every single job in the beginning, but in the end, they're not doing every single job. There's a team, there's 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 people that are working alongside the CEO to make everything work. The reason why I say that is in the beginning, start with collaboration as opposed to if you don't have to learn everything, don't learn everything, learn while doing it and partner up with somebody that knows the thing. So for instance, if you're very, 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 very good at sales, overcoming objections and closing deals, okay, great. If you have a buddy who's very good at marketing, extremely good at marketing, a whiz, a guru in marketing, okay, do the collaboration there. Now you don't have to learn anything and everything about marketing right away. He doesn't have to learn anything and everything about sales right away. And you can start getting traction immediately. It takes time out of the equation. So for those who are just starting, man, you don't have to know everything. You just have to have people around you that know everything. And then,
Yeah,
man,
definitely.
understand how to effectively communicate, man. Because if you can't communicate, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, so what do you recommend, like a couple of steps that will help people like become more effective on communication? Like, is there like a certain type of books that you suggest? So like practices that they should be doing, something like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, you
Hello?
ability to captivate an audience, and I'll listen to those speeches. I'll listen to those speeches, and I'll write those speeches down, and I'll really understand how they're able to capture the crowd and keep it. Um, communication is everything, and I'm studying all the best people who can communicate, like Winston Churchill. Barack Obama, some award shows. It doesn't matter. Like I'm listening to their speeches. That's really what I do. The second thing that I'll do is, I try to eliminate and but and like and any
Uh,
pausing
yeah,
and how I communicate, man. Like that's elementary. It's very elementary. To some of these big time business people, you just can't talk like that.
yeah, definitely,
I
yeah.
mean, it doesn't differentiate you. Now, as far as books, the thing is this: there's one thing to read books, but it's another thing to understand books. So, I was always taught this. When you're reading something, how many times do you read something and there's one or two words that you don't know what they mean, but you skim over them because you understand the context of the sentence? Like slowing down and actually looking up those words and understanding the vocabulary that's in front of you allows for you to communicate at another level because you have more words that you can use in your repertoire. So I feel that that's another thing that I try to do, and I'm constantly doing, and I'm trying to get better at this thing every single day too. So
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And like when people start doing like cold calls, I know it's like they get a lot like uncomfortable and nervous. What do you suggest like a mental kind of hack that you do to just get you on doing a ton of calls just on and going? Because I try to like
yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, the cold call thing is hard, man. It's hard,
yeah,
and you gotta know that it's gonna be hard, and you gotta have a mindset that it's gonna be challenging. You gotta have a mindset that you're gonna overcome, or you're gonna deal with rejection. You gotta have a mindset that you gotta overcome any sort of resistance. I think that not getting emotional while on the phone is incredible. I think that you gotta understand that you can't let emotion get in the way of anything, and whatever anybody says to you on the phone isn't necessarily because of you. It's because of what's currently going on in their environment, or shit, they got into a fight with their husband or wife last night. You don't know what the hell's going on with people when you're reaching out. So
yeah,
realize that the energy that they bring into the call has nothing to do with you. And so you got to bring the energy in the call, and you got to realize that you're probably going to talk to two people for every 75 to 100 phone calls. So like, suck it up, like that. Just keep going and keep going and keep going. Now, the only other thing I would say is, repetition. I've made hundreds and hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of outbound cold calls already. So, once you do that for a significant period of time, you start to identify the similarities, jot those similarities down, and or not even cold calls, but just communication, just in the sales process in and of itself. And you start to realize what the hell is actually going to go on, and you start documenting, and then now you're not guessing on what's going to happen. You already know what's going to happen. You have the ability to predict. So this cold call thing is everything. And I don't necessarily just want to say cold calls. I want to say cold interaction. It could be face to face, it could be DMs, it could be LinkedIn messaging, it could be the phone, whatever it is. Just know you got to do a ton of it. You got to train on it, and it's going to be hard, and you're not going to get the results that you want right off the bat. So suck it up.
yeah, definitely. Yeah. So the question is, so how can someone scale their agency from zero to just $10,000? Like you said,
Yeah,
outside
yeah,
partnering up would be a good idea, right? Is there
yeah.
like,
Yeah, partnering up. I mean, brother, how do you scale an agency from 0 to 10? I'd have to charge you 10K to tell you. No, I'm kidding. How do you do that? How do you do that? Well, first things first, you gotta have enough people to sell to, and you gotta have a product that is priced at the way that allows for you to scale. If you're selling a product for $10, there's going to be a crap ton of people you need to sell to in order to get to a grand. Understand the value of your product, understand the value of your service, know that you're probably lowballing the amount of value that you bring to the table. But in the beginning, you cannot charge people 10K with no track record. In the beginning, you may have to do a couple things for bare minimum price point, if not free. In the beginning, you ain't gonna get to 10K. Like 10K is not a lot of money. It's not.
yeah,
It's
definitely.
shit money. But what I will say is 10K still is a lot of money. 10K reoccurring without even having to blink, it's $10,000. That means, okay, you got 10 people paying you $1,000 for what? Okay. So what the number one thing is the acquisition piece, man. If I've got 500 people paying me even $250, I'm good. $500, I'm good. It's identifying the problem and then having a strong enough purchasing population with a significant amount so you can actually get to 10K. But how do you get to 10K? There's so many things to do to get to 10K, man. From how you wake up in the morning to the type of food you put in to are you marketing and advertising yourself to what type of partnerships do you have to what type of what type of clients are you working with? Are you asking for referrals? Are you upselling? Are you cross-selling? What is the price of the service that it is that you provide? I mean, there's so many things, but
Yeah, definitely.
if there were a couple of things I could say previously, that's what I would say.
Yeah. So do you have any like specific morning routine that you follow? Like do like maybe like meditation, all of that, reading books and stuff?
Yeah, man, absolutely. Waking up definitely early in the morning and definitely getting, something in my body that's very healthy. Writing down your goals every single day, or at least the targets every single day, is something that I try to keep as far as the discipline is concerned. Another thing that I definitely do is personal development. I'll hop on a program or something that has to do with marketing or sales or just something to get my brain stimulated. You know what I'm saying? And then having your day mapped out the day prior to, or do it very, 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 very early in the morning so you're not sitting there at 10 a.m. trying to figure out what the hell it is you need to do. You should already know what you need to do by 5 a.m. Like
Yeah,
5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should already be the routine. Maybe from 9 to 9:15 to 9:20. Maybe you're scheduling out your day and then it's just go, 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 go. But that first half of the day, the first part of the day, is a massive indicator of how productive you will be for the rest of the day. And the first meal that you put in your body is an incredible indicator on how you're going to treat your health that day. If you eat like shit in the beginning, you're going to have a shit day,
yeah,
guaranteed.
definitely. Yeah,
So you gotta get that in check. You gotta get that in check.
yeah. So where do you see your overall business in like 5 to 10 years from now?
Yeah, that's a good question, man. I mean, in 5 to 10 years, listen, I want the thing evaluated at 1 billion, man. As far as
Definitely.
an EBITDA evaluation, I definitely want to have a sports and entertainment division that's booming at all cylinders. I want to have several products lines that we own that we're also doing retention marketing for, because what we're doing right now is we're just capturing the data of our existing clientele, understanding how people buy, and we're seeing incredible wins. But who's to say that we can't take that internally, start our own products, manufacture our own products, and do the exact same thing for us? So we definitely want to have an arm for that. And then on top of that, man, to have some pretty significant multifamily. I'm investing in multifamily right now, but I would love to have a ton more. But I have a feeling that for the next 2 to 5 years, the number one area of focus is going to be growing the full circle agency, because it's difficult. At sometimes it's challenging. At sometimes you have a ton of ups and downs. You're gonna question yourself when you start something off a lot. Hell, you're probably gonna question yourself. Listen, I'm only 1 year and 7 months, 1 year and 8 months into this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's a lot more to go. So,
yeah,
but that's where I want the full circle agency to be when it's all said and done, man.
definitely.
I want to kill 1 billion. I want to be a
Yeah,
billion killer.
yeah,
That's all
definitely.
I want.
Definitely. So you started like at almost like 2 years ago. How much like monthly revenue would you say you're at right now?
Yeah. Uh, I would say upwards of maybe like 60, 63.
Yeah, definitely. So how does your agency look different now versus when you first started? Is there like a lot of difference?
Yeah, man. In the beginning, we were just saying yes to anything. In the beginning, we were just a marketing and advertising firm. That's it. And we did anything and everything marketing and advertising, from ad management to ad creation to website development and optimization to Instagram management. We did anything because we needed to get our feet wet. We needed to provide proof of concept. right? I was always told, to the degree you are sold, you will sell. We needed to sell ourselves on the fact that we could actually do something.
Yeah.
Only about 5 to 6 months ago did we make a massive change and specifically target retention marketing for medium to large size product and service based brands. So we kind of eliminated everything else and we're gun ho on this retention piece. And I think the biggest difference between when we first started to where we are now is that we understand our identity as a marketing and advertising company who is very niche and specializes in the one thing of marketing and advertising. It's very hard in the beginning to be known to be good at everything. It's a whole lot easier to be known to be good at for one thing, and then you expand to everything as you grow and keep growing and keep getting known. So the biggest difference is what we provide and what we're focused on. It went from anything and everything to one specific piece for marketing, and that's the biggest change I see internally.
Yeah, definitely. So what would you say like the hardest part about running a successful agency? Would it be like management, client acquisition, or
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal, man. Like everything is hard, but I think the hardest part is your own mental disposition. I think the hardest part is keeping the discipline. I think the hardest part is holding yourself accountable. I think the hardest part is is realizing that success has to be massive. I think the hardest part is not getting into your head every single day, questioning, yo, am I doing the right thing, or should I just stop everything and work for somebody else? Like, I don't, you know, all these actions are difficult, but if you do the actions every single day with 110% intention, obviously something is going to happen. Now, the thing is, you know what you need to do every single day. You know the right things that need to take place. Do you have the discipline to do them? It's the same thing as workout.
yeah,
Everybody knows how to be fit, but do you go to the gym and do you run every single day and do you eat healthy? It's just discipline, man. So the hardest part is the discipline because the answers are out there and anything can be done. It's just a matter of, bro, are you going to do it? And that is something that I try to hold myself accountable to every single day. That is also something that I struggle with from time to time because I need to think big. I need to be confident in myself. I need to be doing the things that are necessary for me in order for the agency to grow. And if you do that, something's
yeah,
gonna happen, man.
yeah, definitely. So what have been like some of the biggest learning experience in wanting to get like your agency?
The biggest learning experiences,
Yeah,
mm, just realizing that everything isn't set in stone, right? What I said before, as far as where we were initially, and saying yes to everything, and now only saying yes to one thing. Things changed.
yeah,
Having an identity is huge. And personal brand is literally the most important thing when starting everything. Like if you don't have a personal brand, if your company doesn't have a brand, it's just going to be a hell of a lot harder. I'm pushing on social media on all the time,
yeah,
on
definitely.
Instagram, on LinkedIn, on
The
TikTok,
The
on
Instagram
YouTube,
lives.
Instagram lives. Like
Yeah,
I'm doing all that stuff, and the only reason why I'm doing that, well, the reason why I'm doing that is because what that does is that adds fuel to the fire for me. When I keep showing up for other people, that holds me accountable to show up for myself. The second thing is I'm just building my personal brand, right? I was always told people can connect faster with a face and a voice than they can a logo. So I know that if my brand, my personal brand continues to rise, anything that I'm attached to will also rise as well. Like if I just throw a logo out there, no one's going to give a damn. They're not going
yeah,
to know what it is, and they're not going to move forward. But if I'm communicating, if I'm talking, if I'm opening up my mouth, if I'm showing the process, I'm giving real data, real footage. Like I'm not making any of this up. Like I'm just pushing it out there. You get to understand a little bit more. You get to gain a real following, and who's to know that within the community that it is that you build, that someone knows somebody that you can provide your service for. I can't provide a service for everybody in my community. I probably can't provide the service that we provide for 95 to 98% of the people in my community. But for those 5%, let's roll. And every single person knows somebody, and eyeballs are dollar signs, right?
Yeah,
The
definitely. Yeah.
brand, the brand thing. So like if you're just starting, push the personal brand. If you're doing 150 million a month, still still push the personal and or business brand. But that's number one, man. You got to be in front of people, and the more we're in front of people, we're getting more traction. Side piece, we're starting to use LinkedIn a ton, and these newsletters on LinkedIn, massive for anybody who's starting an agency, man. Definitely look into that, and it's a great way to start getting traction specifically for people that could potentially use what it is you have to offer. I love LinkedIn. It's very, very high level, very business savvy, but that shit, those are my clients. So that's what I need to be.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. All right. So the last question of the day. So what are the top three books that you recommend for everyone to read that really like helped you a ton?
Yeah, man. I mean, the first book is it's The One Thing by Gary Keller. Love that book. The One Thing by Gary Keller is incredible. Obviously the 10X Rule and Grant Cardone. That's great. And then the other one, actually, I'm re-listening to it right now. Let me make sure I give you the right thing here.
Yeah, definitely.
So I love this one. It is the 48 laws of power. Like, I mean,
Yeah,
it's pretty good.
it's really
You
good.
know,
I read it. Yeah.
yeah, it's fire. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill is great.
Yeah, that was
There's several books that are out there that really changed the game for me. But those are some of
mm,
the top ones that come to mind. Oh,
yeah,
The Closer Survival Guide and Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. Massive, massive books, dude. You got to read those books. Both of those
yeah,
are huge.
definitely, definitely. And I actually just have another question that popped up. Do you believe that like having a mentor is really good, or like in order for you to achieve success?
I mean, you have to. Like, your mentor doesn't have to be somebody that you talk to every single day. Your mentor doesn't even have to be somebody you know. I know a lot of kids out there right now whose mentor is LeBron James. They definitely not had a conversation with LeBron James,
Yeah,
but they see how he moves, how he operates. He's everywhere. He's always showing up, always produces. That's mentorship. I think there has to be some sort of person above where you're currently at to kind of provide a direction on where it is that you want to go, at least if you want to get there quicker. Mentorship is everything. Hell yeah, you got to have a mentor, man. You got to.
yeah, definitely. All right, thanks so much for your call today.